I think we all are gonna sit up
Oh, we're
here.
gonna sit.
Mhm.
Which one are you turning on?
There. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello. Welcome. Let people sit down. Okay, good evening. I'm Mark Brown. I'm the chair of the board of Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. On behalf of the board, the leadership team, the staff of the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, it's my honor to welcome you to our annual public meeting. We get one chance a year to talk to the general public in this kind of a format, and it should be a good opportunity for you to learn more about what we're doing and for us to hear back from the community. So thank you to all of you that are joining us here in person, on Zoom, and I can't say enough about how much we appreciate your engagement and involvement with the library. It's really about the people. Before we start, let me take this opportunity to ask the members of our library board to stand, our trustees, and be recognized. Can you guys stand up? All right. Our trustees are these are the platitudes, are a very talented group of individuals. They dedicate countless hours of their time to help lead and govern this incredible library system. And I do mean incredible library system. We're a large, historic, and complex library with many roles and responsibilities to play, not only in the service of the people of Pittsburgh, but also by serving Allegheny County on a more broad basis. Our board is committed to our mission and vision and to ensuring a strong and sustainable library that will continue to serve here and serve our community for generations to come. And I want to thank all of our board members for their service. It's really a big job, and we thank them. So I also want to take a moment to acknowledge several of our key partners. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Regional Asset District for their support of CLP and commitment to library service across the county. The RAD truly understands our mission, the value of libraries, and the commitment that we've made through partnership with them to everyone in the county. I also want to recognize our elected officials, the city of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Public Schools, the county, and the state, who also care deeply and give us money, frankly, and participate on our board. And I know we have a number of people here tonight who are friends, volunteers, community partners of the library. Thank you to you as well. So this is just a big thank you. This is about community. Let's have a big round of applause. So as I said, this is a valuable way for our board and staff and the community to stay informed about the work of the library and for library leadership to hear from all of you about what you're thinking and how we're doing. We have some exciting things to share with you tonight, including highlights of some of our accomplishments last year, as well as some big projects that are planned for the coming year. In a short while, we'll celebrate the nominees and announce the winners of our Advocate of the Year Awards for 2024, which is always the highlight. I'm told that people would prefer to do that than hear me. So we're going to try to get through my stuff quickly. But all of these individuals and organizations, many of you are sitting in these seats here, have given your time and talents in a myriad of ways to help further the mission and the work of the libraries. And we look forward to hearing more about that in a little bit. After the awards are presented, we'll take some time to hear any questions and comments from you. We got some in writing in advance, and you'll have a chance, if we have time permitting, which I believe we will, to take other questions as well. Okay, but we'd like to wait to do the questions at the end if we could for expediency. Also, you'll hear from our President and Director, Andrew Medlar, in just a moment. He has the more exciting part of telling you about all our programs and services and the exciting thing happening. But first, you have to listen to me, and I'm sorry. Okay, so with that, let's dive into some of the background. One of the major responsibilities of the board is our fiduciary responsibility. We ensure and steward the public and private funding that we receive, and we take that responsibility very seriously. What you can see here is that in 2024, the year ended with an operating surplus of over $353,000. However, the majority of that surplus is a result of some favorable timing, about $295,000 of some state funding. So the funding came in early. It's good. We got the funding. That's good. But accounting wise, it shows up in 2024. And that'll be carried over to 2025. In addition, there was some increased investment income on our investment pool. And and those were netted against library tax and table gains reductions that were slight last year as well. So all in all, the boat's still floating. We're doing pretty well. The 353 is a little bit overstated, but we're okay. All right. Go to the next one. If you look at how that breaks down, it breaks down between programming, general administrative, and fundraising. And all three of those categories require funding. Now, if you talk to charity watchdogs, they like to see 70% of the money or more go to programming. We're at 84%. That's good. So our overhead is under control. We steward our funds well. We spend a significant percentage of it back into the community, relatively little on our overhead, which is good. Let's go to the next one. On the budget for 2025, our budget is about 5% higher than it was the year before. If you think about inflation, that's doing okay. It's largely driven by our increase in hours, which were implemented in 2024. Andrew's going to talk about that later, how we have more branches open, more hours of the day, particularly on weekends and evenings. Although it appears in this slide that expenses will exceed revenues, that's probably not true. We've balanced the budget for 2025. The difference is primarily due to one-time revenue timing issues in collections from the state and uses of some CARES funding that we are running out the clock on. Okay. So let's go forward. Here's the big message, and this is one of the things as a board we're working diligently on in partnership with the leadership. You should be aware that we look at 5-year projections every year, and what we're seeing is that our revenues are relatively flat and our costs are going up primarily with inflation, salaries, costs of services, costs of ebooks, things like that. If we don't take action now, in 26, we're going to have a deficit of about $2 million, and then that goes up to 2030 to $4.5 million. So we've launched an effort between board and staff to thoroughly review all of our expenses with an eye towards identifying opportunities to reduce costs. That includes streamlining how we deliver services, making sure we're not buying duplicative services, all the things you do to tie those things down. And in addition to the cost savings, we're looking at and have plans to ramp up our fundraising efforts and increase the money coming in the other side. Okay, this problem is not solved. We're aware of it, but we want to make you aware of it. This is the challenge. We're probably not the only organization in this city or even across the country facing it, but we're in a good place now, and we need to take action now to stay in that good, sustainable place. That's the message. Okay. So on the fundraising side, in 2024, we continued to focus on both long-term sustainability and immediate operating and programmatic needs. We raised over $4.4 million overall. About $1.5 million of that fuels day-to-day operations. Some transformational and innovative programs are about $1.1 million. Capital projects, so that would be buildings, things like that, about $1.3 million. And building our endowment and our sustainability initiatives, another almost $500,000. Okay, those will particularly help strengthen us for the future. Included in these numbers are contributions of all sizes: $1, $5, $10, $15, $10,000, $1 million. You know, The donation, it's people giving in donation jars, people taking out their checkbooks, people making contributions from their IRAs. We want you to know how much all those gifts are appreciated, every single one of them, large or small, and they're necessary. Our services for children and teens, in-person and virtual programs for adults, and technology support for people of all ages are possible because of your support. Thank you again. I can't say thank you enough. In terms of endowments, so this is our funds that will sustain us into the future. We've made a lot of progress. Our board continues to work on diversifying our sources for those. We have our Library of Pittsburgh Circle, which recognizes supporters who include the library in their will or estate plan, establish a named endowment, or contribute $1,000 or more to the library's endowment. We currently have 93 named funds that have been established. And those are providing everlasting support to the library. If you have an interest in starting one of those, we highly encourage it. Come talk to me. I will make it easy. I promise. Okay. And those funds, and many of those go to the Library for Accessible Media, LAMP, which is, a very important part of our programming. Thanks to the Library Circle donors and other contributors, we raised over $3.35 million for our endowments since 2018. I'll say that again, $3.35 million since 2018. That is a real achievement. A lot of hard work went into that. At the end of 2024, the market values of our endowment was about $26.6 million. It's a huge milestone for us, having finally surpassed our long-term goal of $25 million. And as it grows, so does the amount of available money to support the library each year, because we take a draw from that each year. Last year's endowment draw was $856,000. That's no sneeze. Okay. That supported a variety of library services and programs, many related to children's services and library collections. So it's a good story. The reason, if you want to go back, please, for 1 second. I don't know if you can go back. The reason for the dip in 2022 was investment market conditions. So these will go up and down. It's not because we took a huge draw, just so you know. Okay. And the next, one of the things that our board has committed to is a program we call Potential. And what it is, it's a pool of money contributed by the board members that can be used as matching funds to drive our other development. So we can approach funders with matching funds to make it more appealing for people and organizations to contribute. It matches funds for the endowment up to $25,000. So some of these gifts are pretty large. Okay. And we invite individuals, family foundations, and other friends of the library to create their own library legacies and help secure our future, similar to this. We're excited to continue this initiative. Happy to share more details if you're interested in hearing about it, or if you want to make an estate gift or have some kind of other fundraising idea. We're always open to ideas, and we do really appreciate it. So you can talk to the staff or board after this meeting. Okay. So 2025 fundraising goals. Our fundraising efforts are going to focus on our 4 pillars that you'll hear about in our strategic plan, which you may have heard of, and we have in writing. We can give you copies of it, but it's coming to life as we speak. Community connections, responsive services, regional cooperation, and organizational excellence, strengthening our libraries. We're going to need to raise at least $5.5 million in 2025, and we'd like to raise a lot more than that. $2.88 million of that, over half of it, will be necessary just to support our operating budget. So that's just money to keep the doors open, to provide services, to pay the salaries, all those kinds of things. So our fundraising efforts in 2025 will continue to prioritize relationships with the community that sustain us for generations to come, while also growing our donor base. We've strengthened our corporate funding, and we've strengthened our strategy for that, and you'll see more of that with corporations. And And I think we have a strong story to tell to the funding community. I can't think of a time when we've spoken to funders and they haven't said, we love the library. It is so nice to hear that. We need to keep that up. That's our table stakes. So with the expected financial challenges ahead, we're going to continue to need your support and their support, your encouragement and your advocacy. Anything you can do to help will be much appreciated. So, facilities. You all know us by our facilities. The first one's a very exciting one. We have a facilities committee. The facilities committee looks at all of our buildings. In 2024, one of our larger projects was to invest about $100,000 in the roof of this building. Part of the reason for doing that was to install something called a davit. Essentially, it's a structure that then we can hang people down the sides of the building to do maintenance down the sides of the building with. I'm sharing with you the things I've learned. But that is a big step. It'll allow us in years in the future to do work without having to erect expensive and intrusive scaffolding and things like that. It's got a lot of uses into the future. And so we're going to start to use that to repair some of the terracotta on our stacks building coming up this year as its first use. I suggested we use it to sell some, repelling experiences, things like that. But the insurance people told me that was a no-no. But so we have that going for us. Next slide. Other branch improvements include replacement of the HVAC system and the roof at our Brookline branch, lighting upgrades at Main here in the lecture hall, and some entryway improvements at the Allegheny and the East Liberty branches. And we have more coming this year. We've touched literally every building in a major way in the last 15 years. There is no building untouched. In terms of going forward, we engaged a company this year to conduct a facilities assessment of all of our buildings. They visited every building, they looked at our assets, at our maintenance records, and they projected forward what is it going to cost us to maintain our buildings. I think, how many buildings do we have? 20 buildings. And that came up with a capital maintenance schedule that says we're going to have to spend about $27 million over the next 10 years maintaining these buildings, which, quick math, averages to about $2.7 million a year spending. Some years it's $4 million, some years it's $500,000. But over the course, it's about $2.7 million a year. Some of that we can fund out of operating funds. Some of it we have to go out and raise with additional fundraising. So that's a challenge that we'll be facing up to in the near term. We've been doing that for a number of years. This isn't all of a sudden we woke up and started to do it, but it was time for a complete refresh of our records and to take a look at things. On the next slide, one of the big exciting things coming up in addition is a revitalization plan for Maine, for CLP Maine, where you're sitting. We've kicked off an exciting strategic initiative to develop a comprehensive plan to revitalize the Maine Library here in Oakland. You'll hear a little more about this effort from Andrew and how you can engage with this process to ensure your voices are heard. But this is a fabulous asset. It's a beautiful building with a lot of good space. We want to make sure we use it in the most efficient and effective and inviting way for the public, and that it blends with our services, and we really optimize it. And so we're going to look for your input on that, and we're ready to make investments and change. And I think we're coming up, good, we're getting near the end of my stuff. The next is the IDEA report. For those of you that don't know, IDEA is inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. It's a program we've been doing for a number of years. I'm happy to say that our IDEA committee of the board was recently codified as our newest standing committee in our updated trust agreement, which was just approved by Orphans Court. I'm not sure why the Orphans Court is who approves that, but they do within the last month. It's part of everything we do. This committee supports the governance of our work related to inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility. Our board and staff of the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh are committed to these 4 principles that serve as foundational practices in our strategic plan. and everything the library does. It's specifically called out in our trust agreement. I want to be clear. We stand firm in our belief that the library is here to serve everyone. We're stronger because of it. We can attract better talent. We can attract more talent. We can serve all the communities. We can serve everyone in the community. When you talk about literacy, which is core, we need to go into all the communities with literacy programs and help to increase literacy, starting all the way at pre-K, all the way up through high school and beyond. And we're committed to do it. What does that mean at the board level? Let me talk about that for a second. And I'm being very purposeful here because this is important to us. In 2024, our Board of Trustees shared a common read. We got together, we read some books, and we discussed the book, Hopeful Visions, Practical Actions. The IDEA committee members and all board committee chairs also participated in a half-day retreat to support our leadership for the board toward equity-centered governance. And what I mean by that is we are working toward how do our principles, our policies, our practices affect how we run the committees of our board where our work gets done? How do we ensure equity? How do we ensure everyone's included? How do we make sure our reach is going out to all parts of the city and the county? Are we looking at underserved pieces of the community? Are we lifting everyone up? And so it may seem foreign, but our finance committee, our facilities committee, our audit committee, our executive committee, our compensation committee, our external relations committee, all are taking a look at how does that change the way we operate? How does it help to inform how we make decisions? And how do we staff those committees as well to make sure that we're representing the community? And we're stronger for it. So it's ongoing and critical to our mission to foster literacy, enable exploration, create a connection with all our neighbors. Our commitment will not change. Thank you. So let's go to the next one. So with that, this is my last slide. Thank you. We really have three areas of primary board focus and urgency this year. It doesn't mean we don't care about everything. There's a lot of other things going on, but there are three things that I'd like to call out. The first one is financial stewardship. I mentioned the fact that when you look out 5 years, we have a threat of running a deficit if we don't take action. We're working closely with the board, with the leadership of the organization and the staff to figure out how do we bridge that gap. That's task one. We owe it to our funders. We owe it to the community to ensure sustainability and to be healthy. The second is fundraising. We are significantly ramping up our community connections, our how do we communicate with the community? How do we bring the community in? How do we merge that with our fundraising and our development efforts? How do we raise the bar on fundraising? It is a team sport, and the board plays a lead role in that. And third, early literacy. I can't go anywhere in the city or the county and mention, and if they say, I know you're on the board of the library, I know you're the chair of the library, what are you doing about literacy? Okay, test scores aren't good, kids aren't in school. How can the library help? We have an initiative underfoot, Andrew's going to talk about it, to look at how can we use our strengths? How can we use our branches that are in the community? How can we use our technology? How can we use our staff, which know an awful lot about literacy, to build on top of the other activities that are happening, to partner with other organizations that are working in this space? Obviously, and we have been for years, we will work with Pittsburgh Public Schools. But it goes way beyond that. There are many, many other organizations making an impact in this space. And it's part of our brand. It's part of our commitment. It's part of our trust agreement. It's part of our culture. And so as a board, it's something that we talk about at every committee meeting, at every board meeting, and that Andrew and I talk about weekly. and that's fueling what we do. So these are the three things. If you want to know what is the board focused on for this year, this is it. It's embedded in our strategic plan, which you can see. Our strategic plan's built around, these are key to it, to enabling it. But this is how the board thinks about it. Okay. So, sorry that took so long. At this time, I'd like to invite Andrew, our president and director, to talk so that you don't have to hear from me anymore. Thank you.
How about a round of applause for Mark Brown, everybody? Thank you. I can say it is truly an honor and a pleasure to work with Mark and with the co-vice chairs of the board, LaShonda Thomas and Laura Miller, and the entire board, all of the trustees, on making our library happen. So I am so grateful to you and all of your colleagues on the board for your trust and support and leadership and guidance and wisdom. And I know that benefits all of us in our community and our county. Thank you. I also want to thank other people that I am delighted to work with, and that is the staff of Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. Trustees got their moment of the sun. May I ask all my colleagues here in the room who work at CLP to stand up, even if you don't want to be recognized by everyone. Thank you. Thank you. We are truly here to help each other. And by that, I mean the library is here to help all of our neighbors, and we're here to help each other do the work that makes that possible. So thank you again. I'll talk about what some of that work is, and I'll tell you that work is happening more than it has in decades. It's happening longer each day. It's happening more on the weekends. It is part of our strategic plan. The first thing that we kicked off the plan with last year was by extending our hours. The largest expansion of public service hours in person in decades and decades and decades and decades, since at least the 1980s, which in my opinion is when time began. So at least back a very, very long time. So it was an increase of 93 hours. We are now have our doors open over 1,000 hours a week. And I will say we are always open on the phone in your pocket with our robust offerings on our app and hybrid programming and ebooks, but 1,000 hours a week we're open in the community. And it's a lot of hard work by the folks who you just so graciously acknowledge in this room and our 500 other colleagues across the library system who make that possible. And I'm really grateful. And what made that possible was the support of RAD. Mark mentioned already our incredible partnership and support of the Regional Asset District, and we thank them for making that happen. And really the greatest thanks is that more folks are coming to the library. It really has worked. We saw last year 250,000 more visits to the library. Because of the support of RAD, because of the leadership of the board, because of the work of my colleagues, there was 250,000 more visits to the library than the year before. And I'm really, really proud of that. Overall, that was about a 20% increase in visits. Yet in some of our neighborhoods, in some of the neighborhoods where our neighbors need us the most, there were up to 60% more visits to the library last year. And I'm really, really proud of that. And we will continue that work. It really was very purposeful. I talked about the length of the hours and the days of those hours. It was so purposeful to make sure that we are taking down all the barriers to accessing the library, being open longer into the evenings when it's easier for folks to come into the library and to use the core services that everyone wants and needs and deserves. So I'm very proud of that. And we also had 20% more folks attend programming on Sunday, which is so important to us and so exciting. So thank you. Thank you for that. That happened last March, so a year ago. And also last March, we launched the first component of our new Dame Vivian Ann Davidson Hewitt initiative. And Dame Vivian Ann Davidson Hewitt was the first Black librarian at Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, serving the Hill District community in the 1940s. And we've created this initiative in her honor with the purpose of honoring her and her contributions and celebrating and supporting the BIPOC members of our community and encouraging library work as a career path. There are several pieces to this. The first is the Hewitt Artist in Residence series, which last year ran from March to June as we at the library hosted 4 artists specializing in diverse mediums, and that program is expanding this year. We onboarded a coordinator of diverse and inclusive collections and programs to our library team. And as you see depicted in the photograph here, we hosted the inaugural Hewitt Lecture on April 9th, which was presented by the Librarian of Congress, Dr. Carla Hayden, who's a personal friend of Dame Vivian. And the program also featured a panel of young adults from various educational backgrounds and experiences and points in their educational journey who are interested in library work as a career. It was very inspiring and exciting, and we're going to do it again. And I hope you will all join us on April 8th, so in just about a month, when the second Dame Vivian Ann Davidson Hewitt Lecture will be presented here at Maine by Mr. Kelvin Watson, who is the award-winning executive director of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District. As long as you're saving dates on your calendars, please be sure to put a big circle around Saturday, May 31st, which will be the 4th annual Greater Pittsburgh Festival of Books here at the Main Library. I figure if we can have festivals for pickles, which I love, by the way, just for the record, then we can have festivals for books. And we're really, really thrilled to be hosting this festival, bringing it here to Oakland and connecting it to our library and Shenley Plaza and our neighbors in Oakland. And it's really just an incredible chance to work with partners and bring the community together to celebrate the exploration of books and reading and connect our community of readers. We do this mission-aligned work to create more opportunity for book creators as well, from many different experiences. And all of this strengthens the ecosystem of literature and literacy that is so key to our region. And it helps to grow the relationship that we as Pittsburghers have with our library. There will be dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of authors, and our headliners are Rachel Kong, Tori Peters, Sharon G. Flake, and Judy Collins. Yes, that Judy Collins. So please join us on Saturday, May 31st here at the library. That'll be the kickoff, not only an amazing event, but a kickoff to the summer, my favorite time of the year. And summer 2024 was an awesome one. It was filled with books and partnership and kids and fun and sports. Our Readapalooza Book Bowl was themed around the Summer Olympics and all of the sports that we love here in our city. And summer reading programs are so important because not only are they about partnerships and kids and fun, but they are about enjoying summer constructively and being ready for school to start again in the fall, retaining more of the education that young people experienced in the previous year. This is a research-driven, sneakily disguised attempt to support literacy and kids during the out-of-school time of the summer. The Pittsburgh Public Schools adopted CLP's summer reading program as their summer reading program last year, which is a great accomplishment. And all of these aspects really, really came to fruition through the kids' participation. We had a 16% increase in kids participating in the summer reading program last summer, and they read, so proud of them, they read 43% more books than they read the summer before. Except for the kids in Sheridan. The kids in Sheridan read 1,400% more books than the year before. So I really want to give a shout out to my colleagues at Sheridan. It's really incredible. So summer 2025 will kick off on June 1st, the day after the Greater Pittsburgh Festival of Books that you will all be at. And our theme this summer is Flights of Imagination. So we look forward to another great summer of kids, partnerships, and fun. We also look forward to another great summer of visiting all of the amazing RAD assets around our county. The Rad Pass Summer Staycation program in 2024 began on May 15th. And initially we figured, oh, we'll wrap it up about August 31st. That's a good time to wrap up a summer program. Well, we tried to wrap it up, but it didn't work because so many people were engaged and loving the program and checking out with their library card free access to RAD assets around the county that many of the organizations participating extended the passes into and through September. Really, it was more than 100,000 accesses to assets that we were able to make available last summer with your library card. And we're working to extend this time in 2025 even longer. So more access to more people in 2025. Thank you, RAD. Also last summer, we introduced 2 new teen internship programs at CLP. Our Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility Department led a 7-week Teen CEO internship program in partnership with the Homeless Children's Education Fund. And our new program manager of teen internships led a 16-week CLP teen internship program supported by the Eden Hall Foundation and Partner for Work. And we thank both Eden Hall and Partner for Work for their partnership. Both of these programs ended with a 100% retention rate, with all teen interns completing their experience successfully. If you are or have been or know a teenager, that is a really exciting number, that 100% of the young people who started with their internship experience at the library saw it through. And the Eden Hall program in 2025 will extend thanks to their great support. And we will be partnering with the public library in Clairton for internship opportunities there as well. When this current school year kicked off, there were 14,000 scholars at PPS who didn't have CLP library cards. But guess what? They've got them now. Through our CardFest program, which is a program that we have partnered with Pittsburgh Public Schools and with the city of Pittsburgh, and with incredible support by the Heinz Endowments and the Frank J. Lucchino Kids Fund, there are now 14,000 more scholars in Pittsburgh who have library cards than they did when this school year started. We had specialty designed, already activated library cards mailed directly to homes. So they showed up right in the mailbox, translated with information about the library, translated into 10 different languages. And this is something we're going to keep on doing. So every year moving forward, all new students, including all kindergartners and folks who have moved into the district, will receive automatically Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh library cards. And that's really, really important and exciting and key, and just one step. Having that piece of plastic with the barcode is the first step. Engagement with the library and using the services and resources that we have, that's what it's really all about. And so our team is making sure that we are out in the community, helping young people and their families know what to do with that piece of plastic that arrived in their mailbox. We are engaging at back to school events, Take a Father to School Day, Literacy Week, and end of school year events, and having a great time in the process. And part of this the project in 2025 will be extending CardFest to the non-PPS schools in our city. Throughout 2025, we continued to grow the Cooperative Allegheny Library Support Program, which we lovingly know as CALS. This is the way in which we at Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh are able to support all of the other 45 public libraries in Allegheny County to help ensure equitable access to library services in our county. And it includes a lot of the less glamorous behind the scenes, but I think really fun, library work behind the scenes, such as building collections. We have a Collection Boost Plus program, which provides free multiple copies of popular titles to libraries across the county to help make holds lists for the book you want to read next much shorter. We have a fund development program offered to all public libraries in Allegheny County, which was redesigned by CLP's development team. And a hallmark of that work, the 2024 Love Your Library campaign, raised 30% more vital dollars for county libraries than the year before. We did other great things behind the scenes to enable our county library colleagues to focus more on front of the house public service. That includes things like a 40% increase in libraries participating in our acquisitions and receiving services. We launched a website design and management project beginning with 5 county libraries and expanding beyond that this year. And we onboarded a new coordinator of shared digital platforms as well as a countywide maintenance technician. And one of the words you've heard the most already this evening, and one of the words that is first in our mission statement, is literacy. Our mission statement begins by saying that we are here to foster literacy. This is not new. This is something we have done for a long time, and it's something that we will do for a long time into the future. And yet, as Mark described so well, the reason behind and the importance of doing this even more purposefully and intentionally and with fewer barriers. As part of that, in 2025, we'll be enhancing our public awareness around and branding of the impactful early literacy work we do in every library now. And we will bring our region together around this vital topic. That question of what can we all do together to ensure our young people have the reading skills and the interests that they need to succeed in life? What are the best tools, including technology, to help us do that into the future? So, one of the ways in which we do this on the next slide, you will see, is our award-winning Best Books for Babies program. And this is something we're so proud of here at the library, and other libraries around this country are really, really jealous of. And that is the celebration of books that are created especially for the youngest book lovers and future readers. So I encourage you to check out our Best Books for Babies program that is in every library, that is in our website, and that promotes amazing, fun, developmentally appropriate books for early literacy. And not only do we have those on the list on their website and the books in the branches, like I said, but we are taking them into the community. We recently delivered 1,000 board books for the earliest readers to pediatricians' offices around the county, so that families who come to take care of the physical health of the newest member of their family can begin building the literacy health as well. And moving ahead more into 2025, you've heard a lot this evening now and earlier about what we've been doing and where we're going to be going, especially the stewarding of our resources of money, facilities, technology, and staff, to enable us to equitably provide our core services. And I encourage you to dig into our beautiful and brilliant strategic plan so that you see more about where we're going and why. And I want to say that part of that we are doing, as Mark mentioned earlier, is our main comprehensive plan. And this is the plan that we will all do collaboratively to make sure that this beautiful, iconic, well cared for, well-used, well-loved library is ready to be all of those things for generations to come. And so we have begun the process of determining what we all think together that should be. And I hope that you will join us throughout the spring to contribute to this plan that is built on the services that we provide and will want to provide into the future, and making sure we're ready to do that. So later in this month, beginning on March 24th, we will begin a series of community partner breakfasts, focus groups, and public engagement activities. Then moving into April, we will synthesize what we have heard, what you have told us, and we will work internally through staff workshops and additional community feedback sessions. And that will move us towards May 31st, when you'll all be here for the Greater Pittsburgh Festival of Books, when we will begin to share with you what we've learned and where we will be going together. There will be public activities, presentations of key findings, and engaging around what is next. But not even waiting for what's next. Good things are happening already here in March into 2025. I'm really excited to say that in February, we dedicated new recording booths at LAMP, the Library of Accessible Media for Pennsylvanians. These are state-of-the-art booths that play a crucial role in recording books and making more books accessible to more people with print disabilities in our community and across the Commonwealth. Books that are recorded at LAMP will be uploaded to the Library of Congress and made available, I said throughout the Commonwealth, but I was really being modest. Throughout the entire world, actually, is who we are providing access to books for. And the reason that we do that is only 10% of books that are published are actually published in accessible formats for individuals with print disabilities. So that's why we do this work. And we're grateful to the Barati Family Fund for their generous donation and support that made this project of new updated recording booths possible. Thank you. And now we're at my last slide, you'll be happy to know. And I just want to say that our work is inspired by you, it's informed by you, and it's for you. And tomorrow we'll be launching a community-wide survey as yet another way for us to communicate with each other and to enable everyone in our community to share their thoughts, ideas, and feelings about the library. The survey, which will be available in myriad ways through the library's website, through the computers in the library, through the emails that we send out, are this month at the library message for March, which is coming out this week. These are all ways for us to transparently share what we're doing and for you to let us know what you think of that and what you would like. So please, I encourage you to encourage your family and friends to participate. Just do me one favor, don't be shy. Let us know what you think. I want to thank again our trustees, our funders, our donors, our staff, and all of you. Thank you for coming to the library. I'm now over the moon to introduce to you the chair of the Library Board's External Relations Committee. Please put your hands together again for Dr. Gia Titone.
Okay, everybody. Hello. It's nice to see you all here tonight. My name is Gia Titone, and I serve as the chair of the External Relations Committee. And this is one of our favorite evenings as a CLP board, as we get to recognize so many individuals and organizations who have distinguished themselves in their service and their support for the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh over the past year. So many of you support the library in so many ways, and a little list I put together of who else that does include day to day and year after year include our volunteers, some who work for some organizations, some who are cheerleaders for the board, where you just really help promote our locations, our programs, our initiatives. Others are super users. Maybe some of you are here are a super user, where you champion the library and utilize our services in so many different ways. As well as members of our Neighborhood Library Friends group and partner organizations, all whose mission aligns closely with that of the libraries and provide a specific service for people in our community, and for those individuals and organizations who help further the mission of the work of the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, both big and small. You are all out there. We are so grateful for all of you. So I think you should all give yourselves a round of applause. So thank you. We couldn't do it without you. Okay, so the CLP Advocates of the Year Award. This award was created in 2011 as a way to recognize and honor these individuals and organizations who have supported the CLP with special distinction and who have demonstrated deep commitment to furthering the vision of the library. And I want to just take a moment to just speak out that vision, which is the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh envisions a strong, inclusive community with a library at its heart that nurtures individual and collective achievement across to knowledge, access to knowledge, and a sense of joy and belonging. I just love that, a sense of joy and belonging. That's what we're about. Okay, so tonight, I want to draw your attention to the program that you received when you came in. When you arrive, this includes all the individuals and organizations who have been nominated for our 4 categories. These advocates and partners have shown in numerous ways their belief in the library being part of vital part of the community of life in the city of Pittsburgh. So now, without further ado, it's time to recognize our 2024 Outstanding Library Advocates and Partners of the Year. For each category, we will highlight each nominee and give a brief introduction about their contributions. I will call your name, and when I do, I ask if you can please stand to be recognized so I can say a little bit about you. And then at the end of this meeting, please come and see me and James Hill, who is a member of the External Relations Committee, as we have a special thank you for you. All nominees, after you have been recognized, then we will announce the winner, at which time I will ask that you come forward to accept your award. And our photographer will take the winner's photograph along with our president director, Andrew, and our chair of the board, Mark Brown. And also we also have what did I forget? Did I forget something? Oh, okay. And so we will take your picture and have a little something for you as well. Okay, so first up is our Community Advocate of the Year Award. And we have 2 categories for the Community Advocate Award, one for the adult and one for the teen. We will begin with the adult category, and we have 6 nominees. So I'd like to take a moment to introduce to you each nominee before I announce the winner. So will Osama Al-Tayrafa please stand? Are you here? Let's give a hand for Osama. Osama visits the downtown library. Please remain standing while I say a little bit about you. Osama visits the downtown library as a representative of Allegheny Link, a county program that strives to simplify and streamline access to homeless and housing services. He makes every person he works with feel welcome and helps them to access the information and services they need, both within his work at the Allegheny Link or referring them to the library for other services that they may benefit from. So thank you, Osama. Our next nominee is Dr. Ann Fillmore. I believe she cannot be here today. Is Dr. Ann Fillmore here? Well, Dr. Fillmore actively works to connect Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh with Pittsburgh Public School libraries and system-wide departments. She opens doors for the library to successfully partner with the Pittsburgh Public Schools for Card Fest, summer reading, and other important programs for Pittsburgh Public School scholars to engage with the library. So even though she can't be here today, let's give her a round of applause. Our next up is Pooja Halder. Did I say your name right? Halder? Halder. Hi, Pooja. Thank you for being here. Okay. Pooja is a dedicated volunteer who consistently supports a variety of CLP events and programs. She creates an inclusive environment at these events by enthusiastically greeting patrons and providing support and positivity and cooperation. Thank you so much, Pooja. Okay, our next nominee is Tyke Price. Tyke, are you here? Tyke? Tyke became a champion for the CLP's Artist in Residence program when her partner Lee started his artist residency at the CLP Hill District. She's helped CLP create many new connections with neighbors, fostering their exploration and the use of library resources. Our next nominee is Charlene Sanner. Charlene, are you here? Charlene, did I say your last name right? Okay, especially me, right? Well, stay standing for a moment. Charlene, you go by Char? Char, okay, Char. Char always advocates for the library and the community members to come join in the Beachview branch to get information. She helps families find resources that are beneficial for their children and helps to connect older folks in the community to build a strong sense of belonging. Thank you. Next up is we have Melissa Saul and her dog Blue. Melissa, are you here with your dog? Is Blue here? Oh, we don't see Blue. Okay. Melissa and her dog Blue have been therapist volunteers at the East Liberty branch since 2022. They have become much loved part of the library, with families often coming into the library specifically to see them. Okay, so let's give another round of applause for all these wonderful nominees. So this year, I'm pleased to say that we have two winners, and this was a really hard decision. I mean, we were at gridlock. We went back and forth and back and round and round. And so we have two winners. And so for the adult category, and the first winner I'm going to announce now for 2024 Community Advocate of the Year Award first goes to Dr. Ann Fillmore. I'd like to congratulate Dr. Ann Fillmore. And we will see that she gets her award. And for a tie, the second person who I would like to announce as the winner for the 2024 Community Advocate a Year Award is Melissa Saul and her dog Blue. Melissa, come on up. And Andrew and Mark, you take your picture. And maybe take about 1 minute or less and say a few words. Thank you.
We're taking back the award because the dog's not here.
You have to come to the library.
Okay, exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly, thanks.
Get it back too.
Congratulations, Melissa. I just have to mention that Melissa and Blue Suede Shoes love their library and visits and being able to provide library patrons with happiness of petting a dog. Often it's one of the first times that a child has the opportunity to learn the proper way of how to pet a dog and some of the responsibilities of owning a dog. So it also has multiple messages that and lessons that it sends. So thank you again, Melissa. Okay. So now for the Outstanding Teen Award, there are 6 nominations for the Outstanding Teen this year. So let's start with our first nominee, Davine Dixon. Davine, are you here? Davine? Okay, well, let's give a round of applause for Davine. And to say a few words about Davine, Davine is a very active teen at the Knoxville branch. She was the top reader at the CLP Knoxville during the 2024 year and is always promoting reading to her peers and to the younger children at the library. So I could clearly see why she was nominated. So we'll give her another round of applause. The next nominee is Razia Hill. Razia, are you here? Am I saying your name right? Did I say your name correctly? Razia? Okay, Razia is a rising star. It's considered to be the mayor of the woods. Razia is a Woods Run library regular who often helps clean up our spaces, makes closing announcements, and encourages her siblings and her friends to get involved in the library services. Thank you, Razia. Our next nominee is Ian Keefe. Are you here? Ian, did I say your last name right? Okay. Ian served as a teen intern for the CLP South Side. He consistently welcomes new teens into the programs at the branch and helps them to make them feel more welcome. Ian is extremely collaborative in all the activities he undertakes and is always making sure that every verse is heard in the teen choice programs. Thank you, Ian. Our next nominee is Justice Moses. Justice, are you here? Hi, Justice. Justice is a warm, welcoming, encouraging presence in the library with an innate ability to organize youth and to get them to participate in activities. When Card Fest happened, Justice really encouraged kids to check out our books and show them around the space. Thank you, Justice. Okay, our next nominee is Neptune Phillips. Neptune, are you here? Neptune, well, let's give a round of applause for Neptune Phillips. Neptune is great at creating connections and building community with the library at its center. Neptune routinely brings new friends to the library and provides great tours so they leave knowing all about what the library has to offer, seeing it as a safe and fun space to spend their time. So let's give it up again for Neptune. And our final nominee in this category is Toby Robertson. Toby, are you here? A frequent user at the West End branch, Toby took part in the 2024 teen internship program. They were very passionate about the accessibility of our resources and the preservation of the library's role in making materials accessible to the public. Thank you, Toby. Okay, and the winner in the teen category for the 2024 Community Advocate of the Year Award is Ian Keefe. Come on down. And have your picture taken with Andrew and Mark, our president.
Congratulations.
And if you'd like to. Please feel free to say a few words after your picture if you'd like to. You guys next first.
I don't really have anything prepared or thoughts. I honestly didn't know I was nominated, but I do love the library, so I hope the library continues to be awesome and prosper. And thank you everyone here who works at the library and with the library for well doing everything you have been doing to make the library amazing and help a lot of people. Thank you.
Okay, so let's give it up again for all these nominees and winners. All right, so isn't this the fun part of the meeting, right? After all that heavy financial stuff, we get to meet people and hear about all the exciting things going on. Next up is our Outstanding Community Partner Award. This award was established to recognize an outstanding community organization that partners with the library to promote the library's mission and strategic goals, foster the library's relationship with the community, and support and enhance the CLP's services and programs. We have 8 nominations in this category this year, and we're pleased to have so many organizations to partner with. You heard a lot about that from both our president director Andrew and our chair Mark Brown. Just so many wonderful things that you do with and for us. The first organization I would like to introduce, and please stand as well, whether there's a group of you or individual, I'd like to acknowledge everyone. The Black Unicorn Project, are you here? Any representative from this organization here? All right, well, let's give them a round of applause. Black Unicorn Project is a Black and queer-owned literacy organization dedicated to making sure that Black students and queer students have literacy opportunities in Pittsburgh. They celebrate libraries as sites of possibility and freedom. Let's give them another round of applause. Our next organization is Dana Bishop Root from Carnegie Museums of Pittsburgh. Dana, are you here or anyone from your group here? No? All right, let's give them a round of applause. Whether they're here or not, we're grateful. Dana invited CLP to be a part of several Carnegie Museum programs that helped the library highlight various library services and collections to the museum visitors. And for that, we're grateful. Give it another round of applause. Our next organization is Hill District Chess Club. Any members or is a chess club here that we can acknowledge you? All right. There they are. Stay standing. Wait, stay standing. I got to read about you. We got to know who you are. The chess club. And by the way, I love chess. I've been playing since second grade. I used to be in tournaments, so I'm taking you guys on. The chess club has been convening at the Hill District branch for many years. It is a very popular program that has really built a special community within the library. Let's give them another round of applause. Our next organization is Resolve Downtown Crisis Team. Any members here or the team here? There they are. The Resolve Downtown Crisis Team holds office hours at the downtown branch to meet with patrons and others who may have mental health or social service needs. They have created many meaningful, critical connections with our neighbors. Let's give them another round of applause. Our next nominee is Riverside Center for Innovation, RCI. Any members here or the organization here? RCI is a full service team. RCI is a full service small business incubator dedicated to empowering disadvantaged business owners, promoting growth and development. RCI runs several BizFit classes a year in partnership with the CLP, which helps minorities and women gain the necessary skills and knowledge to start a small business. Let's give another round of applause. Our next nominee is Sisters Place. Anybody here from Sisters Place or the group? Well, let's give them a round of applause. This Sisters Place is a collaborative community partner that strives to eliminate barriers to success for those experiencing poverty and homelessness. They work with the CLP to provide resources that are outside our scope of expertise and get information into the hands of our community members who need help. Let's give them another round of applause. Our next nominee, we have two more. The next one is Tech 25. Anybody here from Tech 25? All right, let's give them a round of applause anyway. Tech 25 provides programming for teens in the Knoxville branch in visual and media arts like DJing. I'm not savvy to some of these. How do you say? What they say, and sound design. The partnership has now grown into a system-wide relationship to provide programmings for teens at up to 3 CLP locations across the city each quarter. Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. And our last nominee is the Union Projects Wheelmobile. Is anyone here from the Union Projects Wheelmobile? The Union Project brings their mobile pottery studio to CLP locations throughout the spring, summer, and fall, giving people of all ages a chance to try an art form that often has a lot of barriers due to cost, access, and knowledge. So thank you. Let's give another round of applause. Okay, let's give, before I announce the winner, everyone another round of applause for these wonderful organizations. Really making an impact and a difference and an impact, and so impressive. Okay, and the winner for the 2024 Outstanding Community Partner Award goes to RCI, Riverside Center for Innovation. Are you Juan Garrett? This is Juan Garrett. Give a wave.
Yeah, she's on my.
Get in here, get in here.
And I'm just like Ian. I didn't have anything ready to go. But I will say we have been working with the library, Tammy and Paul, for several years, and it has helped. The research that small businesses can get from the library, we have been able to generate million-dollar companies because of the work that we partner with the library that's here in our community. So when we talk about your program idea, I like that. So you may see that on my website as well. But thank you all. Thank you very much.
Hey, I like that. I mean, iron sharpens iron, right? They say there's no better compliment when someone's trying to imitate you or reflect you. So I'm good. I'm cool with that. I like that. Okay, so with that being said, the next award and our final award goes to our outstanding corporation partner. And I like to give this special recognition to a corporation or foundation that goes above and beyond support in the library's mission. And this year, we would like to give recognition to the Eden Hall Foundation. Let's give it a round of applause. And I believe there's a representative here to receive this award, Allison Aldemus. So you're here. Did I say your name right? How do you say? Okay. Well, let me say a few words about Eden Hall Foundation before you come up. Okay. No, stay standing. Eden Hall Foundation supports human services, health education, civic and community works, and arts throughout the Southwestern Pennsylvania. Generous contributions from Eden Hall Foundation have supported Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh's efforts to build a strong, inclusive community for patrons and staff alike. Recent support from the foundation enabled the library to launch a teen internship program, which provides meaningful work experiences for older teens at the library. The first year of this program in 2024 gave 9 interns the opportunity to work closely with and be mentored by library staff to develop workplace skills. To develop workplace skills, learn potential careers in libraryship, and encourage discovery of talents and strengths. Thanks to Eden Hall's support, the program will be expanded into 2025 to include a cohort of 20 interns, right? Let's give it up for that. And Eden Hall Foundation's longtime partnership with the CLP has helped many libraries ensure that all neighbors receive responsive services and organizational excellence. So we'd like to thank you, and please come on down and
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just very quickly, I wanted to say thank you to the interns that participated this past year. And of course, thank you to the librarians that helped to guide those interns throughout the year. And we're looking forward to a wonderful second year of the program. Thank you.
okay, let's give all of our nominees and winners another round of applause. Keep an eye out for some publicity about everyone. And we are so proud of the work represented here with all of these individuals and organizations. We sincerely thank you for all you have done to bolster the library's mission and make a real difference in the lives of our friends and our neighbors. At the conclusion of our meeting, we would like all winners and nominees to please join us for a group photo. And don't forget the nominees to please see me and James afterwards because we have a special thank you gift sitting over there for you as well that we want to make sure that you receive. So on that note, I'd like to now invite our chair, Mark Brown, back to the microphone to take any questions that anyone may have.
Yeah,
Great.
sure.
Yep, yep.
Please.
Whoever.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
pass them forward.
Thank you.
So, thanks, Gia. That was great. And congratulations to everyone. I can't tell you how exciting it is. But I do want to meet the dog. I'm a big dog lover. So we actually got two questions online, neither of which I totally understand. So is Nina Harrell here? We're going to skip that one. And how about Rick Canar? K-A-N-A-R. So we're going to skip them then. One didn't have a question, the other one I could not understand the question. But we have some new questions. The first one is, how many active friends groups are there currently? Oh, great. Great. So the friends groups, Carlin, how many active friends groups are there right now? Mhm.
I think we're at about 4 or 5.
Oh.
5.
Yep.
5 out of the 19, 20 locations have active friends groups.
Yeah.
And in branches where we don't have a friends group, we do have volunteer programs. So we would love, we love volunteers and partners. Why don't you answer?
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what is CARES? Want to answer that?
What is CARES funding? Yes, sure. Yeah, what is CARES funding, which we was referenced earlier in terms of for our budgets. Yeah, exactly. Part of the COVID funding, exactly. And so when we received that initially, the Board of Trustees made the strategic and, in my opinion, brilliant decision to focus that for supporting the countywide work that we do. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
We have more?
Mhm.
Yep. Please speak about ADA support project at North
Oh, right at Maine.
at Maine.
Yeah.
Also comment on neighborhood ambassador program to reach underserved and neighborhoods.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to comment on it?
Sure, I'm happy to. And to say, Mark spoke earlier about the system-wide facilities evaluation that we did. And ADA work is key to that, looking at what are the needs, what are the existing needs, and again, growing for the future needs in every single location. So that is key to the future, not only of what we're doing, but also making sure that it's funded and sustainable. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, you bet.
Other questions? Anything's fair. Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
Ah.
Go ahead.
Should I say that? The answer is zero. The answer is zero. Yeah, thank you for asking. Think that's a really important question, and we are very proud to have that name on our building. And Mark also referenced earlier the trust agreement. He used the phrase trust agreement several times. And what that is the original document when Andrew Carnegie gave the library to all of us as Pittsburghers, gave the library, but not any funding. So there isn't a Carnegie Family Endowment or any funds coming from that. Yeah, thank you for asking. That's a good, I really appreciate the opportunity to say that, to share that with you. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Fringe group.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to know, I know there was some kind of change up a couple years ago with the, so is there someone working actively to help engage, fringe groups? I would definitely like to be a part of that because they're critical for fundraising and community connections. So, and I'd also like to know, have those groups done any fundraising in 2024 and what they have contributed? And what libraries do have, friends? That hurts my heart that there are only 5.
Yes. So yeah, Carmen. Yeah. Yeah, this is key to our external relations work. Yeah.
Joyce, you might want to come up too, because you can probably speak. Joyce Schlag is our community committee member who is the representative to the board from the Friends of Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. So Joyce will be able to speak to that a lot, but I will say you are right. The number of active Friends groups has definitely dwindled over the years. Not that there were ever 20, but we absolutely, Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh encourages volunteers from the community to actively volunteer for the library, whether that's directly through the library or with the Friends group. That is totally up to the individual decision to do so. I will say that the Friends groups, there are some active Friends groups that were very active in fundraising. I know that the Hill District, when that location was active, they did a jazz night that was an active fundraiser for the Friends of Hill District Library. And there are lots of, what do you call them? Lots of bake sales and that kind of stuff on a smaller scale. Yeah, book sales. But Joyce, why don't you go?
Our friends groups were at 10 before COVID. And so now we're reduced to 5, but we are interested in building more friends groups. So I would like to talk with you and we'll give you all the support that you need. Friends are simply members of the community who love the library and support the library, are willing to provide some funding opportunities for the library. We work closely with the library branch managers and we support the work of the staff. So it's very exciting to be a part of it, and we welcome others to join us.
Thank you.
Yeah, each of the branches have done individual activities to support the libraries, including the downtown.
Other questions? Thoughts? Okay. You have one more?
Meeting once a month. Take some examples of like downtown standards so that people understand it. We've been like this for about 20 years. We got to get we gave the youth and city free to go. school programs. In my learning down.
So, yep. So if you're interested in volunteering and or friends groups, and there's a lot of overlap, you can do a couple things. You can talk to Joyce after the meeting. You can give the library a call here and we'll get you connected. And you can talk to your local branch manager. Branch managers, the best part about the friends groups and the volunteering is it's at grassroots level. It's in the more narrow community and everything kind of stays there and is, that's why it's so tight with the branch manager. Okay, other topics?
So I knew a few years ago, and I understand the sensitivity of, for some persons being around police, but at one time, some police in some areas were active and reading to kids, doing, playing chess with kids. And then there was sort of like I guess, an unofficial moratorium on police night in the libraries. And so, with respect and sensitivity, I was wondering if we could talk about that a little bit. And that's not, I understand that's not for every library, but there could be some benefit.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that came up frequently during the course of our community conversations building this strategic plan. So yes, I agree about the value of that conversation and I welcome it very much so. And I think looking at it this is another great example of while we're one big library family, looking at it on a neighborhood by neighborhood and community by community basis for needs. So please, let's together have a conversation about it. Yeah, you ready?
Let's spread the
Yes, bring
questions
it on.
around a little bit. You had a question back there?
Yeah. My thoughts are that I love that. Absolutely. I will say, so we've been taking steps in that direction. So for example, with our welcome back student activities in the fall and then also in the winter, boy, we went through a lot of chocolate on the welcome back times where we had did tabling and engaging that way for sure. Another is looking at how we can support, I mean, all year long, absolutely, and particularly during final exam study periods, and how we can ensure that our space is more available. Because as you may know, every single one of these tables out here is full during study times for final exams. So seeing what we can do with that as well. I had a great conversation last week with folks from the athletic department and looking for connections that we can make there, both with student athletes supporting maybe some early literacy efforts, and also how that can go the other way with book lists about basketball and at Pitt, particularly volleyball, and how we can make that connection to our collections. So that's some big picture stuff that we're doing, and I would be extremely excited to talk to you about what else we can do additionally there, because exactly that idea of the inspiration for the sign, the welcome back student sign, was for folks who are new students. We're now your new public library too, and make sure you're getting that library card at the start of your Pitt experience also. So yeah, thanks. Let's work together on that. That'd be great. Yeah.
Other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're pretty low on time. So with that, thank you again for joining us this evening. We sincerely appreciate your time in attending the meeting, the awards, and for your faithful support of the libraries. I'm going to close with a couple of my personal thoughts. You know, we're free to the people. You can see it right out front of the building. It's my favorite sign in all of Pittsburgh, free to the people. Please visit our libraries and bring a friend. Visit our libraries, bring a friend, meet the staff. Okay, they love meeting you. They can help you. You can help them. It's part of the experience. Go online for our catalog of services, not just our catalog of books, our catalog of services. The Stack streaming of local music, which frankly, I didn't even know existed until recently, like 2 hours ago. There's all kinds of good services available and they are free to the people. Okay. Last but not least, come to some of our events. So my story, it'll relate to something Andrew said earlier. I came to Extravaganza last year. I come every year and they have the table with the best books for babies. And I had a new granddaughter and I got a book for her. And now I have read 10,000 times Llama Llama Red Pajama.
Yes.
Okay. So be careful. Be careful. It's dangerous out there. But it is good for all ages. It's good for your spirit. It never rains on Extravaganza Day. We promise. Never happens. And so while this concludes our annual meeting, you know, we welcome your feedback all the time. We thrive on that. We do town halls. We're going to be doing them around Maine. We do them around other subjects. We have the survey coming up. Please fill out the survey. If you think something else you'd like to ask, we're going to be around during cookies and stuff. You can come and ask us or corner us. You know, our goal is to hear as much as we can from you because as a board, we're challenging this wonderful staff. I mean, we have the best staff you can imagine to take managed risks. Take managed risks. We are a healthy, thriving organization. We should be taking managed risks to provide more services to the community. If everything always goes well, we're not taking enough risk. That's how we know. Okay, we don't expect everything on the first try to hit, but we want to do enough things that we make progress going forward and that we're giving the community everything we've got. And so last but not least, tell a library staff member how much you appreciate them, because I do. So join us for cookies and whatever else we have. And thank you very much for coming.
And group photo, nominees, winners, group photo.
Yeah.
Don't leave.
So with that, we're done.